want some, get some, bad enough, take some.
Hello, welcome to episode 93 of Fangin and Bangin with Gangrel. Nikki Blackheart over here and Shady Ray in the corner. You get here a little later than I do. So I have the pleasures of watching Raymond on his adventures. So apparently he's moved from one toxic thing into his system to another. So he's gotten off the Adderall. Now he's on Kratom. So I don't know. I think I liked him better on Adderall. Kratom, he's just running all over, drilling things and stuff, toting furniture randomly back and forth through the studio. I just don't even know I don't know what's going on. I was thinking it was me, but you got here and you witnessed some of it, right?
I did.
You know, right? Like, he says, "Oh, I'm fine." But on top of that, he informed me that, like, because I'm white, I'm the enemy, and he said too much already, and I have no soul. I'm not sure what that was about, but Raymond's probably gonna get canceled. That's why I asked you, Nikki, do you consider yourself white or what? You said no, so maybe you know something too. I don't know. Maybe I am the enemy. What have I done?
I'm mixed. I don't know.
What have I done? The kratom. The dude's on the kratom. He's got me worried here. I'm a little scared. I don't know what's going on. Like, on top of that, we just jump right into beating on Raymond here. But on top of that, he tells me, "Do you know vampires are real?" And I go, he goes, "Not you playing a vampire, but vampires are real. You know, do you ever worry that?" He goes, "Do you ever worry that they're gonna come get you?" And I'm like, "What are you on, Raymond? You need to sleep a little bit more often. I mean, like, you can't just sleep one night every 3 nights. You know, maybe you should alternate nights. You know, up one, down one, up one."
So you don't
down.
sleep. So maybe you are a vampire.
Maybe he's a vampire and he's trying to say something. Yeah, maybe he's giving me fair warning. Maybe he's going like, "Listen, they're coming, bro. The vampires are coming for you. You're out there going around lollygagging, singing, fanging, and banging. Want some, get some. Bad enough, take some. They're coming for you, like Queen of the Damned. They're coming for Lestat to take them out." But little concerning start here at episode 93. But I think we can overlook it because I'm going to overlook it, and I'm going to look forward to you carrying the show because it's on you today, Miss Nikki Blackheart. Because
let's do it.
I had some energy, but I kind of burnt out. Oh, we went right into a Florida Man segment. Is that what it's right after
Florida Man segment right after that?
We're only going to talk. Did you do anything? Wait, did you do anything exciting last week? I can't remember if I even seen you last weekend anywhere. Did we do anything?
I don't remember.
Oh, wait, you were off in the desert.
I did leave.
You were out there taking peyote, too, like Raymond did the week before.
I was looking for the chupacabra.
Chupacabra comes from Puerto Rico.
No, I thought chupacabra was Mexico.
Chupacabra is Puerto Rican. I'll verify that fact because it came from the Air Force, the base out there, the secret military base in Puerto Rico. They were experimenting on stuff. The chupacabra came from there.
So is Bigfoot American?
I don't know where the hell Bigfoot's everywhere, but chupacabra comes from Puerto Rico. Bigfoot has many.
Claiming Bigfoot?
Bigfoot's have many names. Bigfoot's, it could be a Yeti, the Domino Snowman. The Bigfoot could be a skunk ape. Sasquatch. You know.
I've only heard Sasquatch and yeah.
Yeah. So Bigfoot. If I had to guess, I don't know, but I would say Bigfoot's American. But okay. He's everywhere. He's just kind of like the Bigfoot race is everywhere. But the chupacabra comes from Puerto Rico. It started in Puerto Rico.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
How do I know that?
No, I didn't know that.
I was gonna say because when I started wrestling as a vampire down there, they used to think I was a chupacabra at first, like because I obviously looked like a mangy dog with the fangs and everything. Okay. When I was in Puerto Rico, I'd go in and I'd always wear the fangs, do the character, I had black nails, and I'd go into the shops. We were doing this one angle. We would buy like religious candles, and I would take a wrestler named Savio Vega. It's called TNT there, Savio Vega, and I'd take his picture. And I tape it on the candle upside down on TV.
Oh my God.
And then I would light the candle. When the candle burned out, I'd say I would have his soul. Within the time this candle burns out, Savio Vega's soul will be mine, right? So I'd go in these religious shops to get these candles, and they'd just be like, "Oh, chupacabra!" And then I know vampiro. That was even worse, vampire,
Oh
but no, chupacabra comes from Puerto Rico. I'm almost 1,000% positive. Chupacabra comes from Puerto Rico.
Okay.
But yeah. But it's been spotted out, like, the deserts. I think those dogs out there, they mix them up for that with the mange, and there's some strange dogs that run out there in the desert and stuff. I've seen the specials on that, but Chupacabra comes from Puerto Rico. That's why he's spotted in Florida a lot. Chupacabra out in Parkland, different things, knocking over trash cans. You never heard these stories?
I've seen something about it being here, but I thought
Chupacabra could be mistaken for a Florida man. But Chupacabra, yeah, Florida, like Puerto Rico, Florida. Like the Chupacabra's from Puerto Rico. If anybody wants to feel free to kick in on that from home and write in or whatever, they verify those facts. But Raymond should already have been Googling this and looking this up. But the Chupacabra is definitely Puerto Rican. Well, not necessarily Puerto Rican. He's from Puerto Rico. But I would make it Puerto Rican. It's a U.S. territory, but he's Puerto Rican. Huh?
Yeah, where the legend started. Interesting. Well, speaking of the Florida man, we have a Florida man segment. A Florida man caught driving booty patrol truck that closely resembles law enforcement Border Patrol trucks is now facing criminal charges. Owner Gabriel Lubiano Venteria has been arrested and charged with impersonating law enforcement and obstructing police after he was pulled over in Orlando. Gabriel's booty patrol truck was even equipped with red and blue emergency lights, and that's what law enforcement had a problem with the most. And then there's a video on the next page.
Well, I think I had to see the video. Is he going to show me a video here? I got to see the video. Is it going to be a video?
Oh, yeah, that's not good.
It does look like a border patrol or do you call immigration?
U.S. Customs?
No. In Spanish, what do you?
Migra.
Migra, yeah, migra.
It was the closest you could get to Border Patrol. You know, it still had the B in it.
That Southwest Florida man is accused of impersonating a police officer, all because of his white Chevy truck outfitted with red and blue flashing lights, even has decals that make it look like a U.S. Border Patrol vehicle. But instead of saying Border Patrol, it says Booty Patrol.
Yeah, big difference. NBC2's Gage Golding is speaking with the man behind the wheel who says he's just trying to make people laugh.
The decals with the word Booty Patrol on the truck aren't really the issue. What deputies cited him for is having red and blue flashing lights, like these.
So what do you think about that? I don't know.
Are we sure he's from Florida? Because if he's Border Patrol, I don't know. I mean, well, I guess you got borders of Florida. You got the coastline. You know, you can come over, but yeah, I guess I've seen the Border Patrol. I've seen that type of vehicle, but the Booty Man is
the Booty Patrol.
A girl. I would have to ask you because I have no booty, but you having booty. Would you take offense to that? If he rolled up and he flashed his lights, woo! I'm pulling you over for having booty. What do you say? What is his deal? Like, I don't know. They say he was doing it to be funny, but like, I don't know. I'm trying to find humor. I don't think it's as bad as some of the other Florida. But I think he's just some. It's just. I think it's because of the red and blue lights. Yeah.
I was gonna say if he would have done green and like I don't know.
Because you see the stupid shirts that say FBI was a female body inspector and everything like that. I guess he just took it a little bit further with the lights, which could be intimidating if he was pulling people over or up to mischief with that. But other than that, I think it's just silly. I just think it's some silly dude being silly. He found it funny. You know, I could never wear those FBI female body. My brother could. My one brother, Thomas, he could wear all that crap. He would always wear that. I'd be just like, I go, man, what is wrong with you? Because to me, it was embarrassing. So I could never ride around in a truck, the Booty Patrol. But I would laugh and say, look at the Booty Patrol. I would laugh at a distance quietly from my own vehicle. I'd go, look at that silliness. But as a woman, though, would you take it offensively?
I mean, I wouldn't take offense, but if I'm like going about my day, the last thing I want to do is like get pulled over. I'm like, bro, leave me alone.
Dude, can you get pulled over if you're walking? Because that's the only way he's gonna know you have booty.
I
can picture like the music from Staying Alive. You're walking like John Travolta, and it's like chickading, and he rolls up in his truck. Low rider. Now I'm profiling, but he rolls up and he honks his thing. Excuse me, ma'am. I need you to pull over to the side, step to the side for having too much booty. What is the Booty Patrol? Patrol's booty, but what do you punish the booty? Do you spank the booty? Do you love the booty? Do you give a ticket to the booty? What are you doing as the Booty Patrol?
You make sure it doesn't go out of control.
The booty control. Right? So the booty's not here illegally. You don't have illegal booty over here. I don't know. I'm so confused. No. But I think it's as silly as the female body inspector things and stuff like that. But
no, to me it's like more like, I mean, do whatever you want, just like.
But I do want to
keep it in your lane.
I do want to point out that it wasn't Pasco County, but it did say Southwest Florida. Like it wasn't Southeast Florida. I
Yeah.
don't think many Florida men come from Southeast. About the worst I think we'd be been accused of is we could own up to like maybe Scarface back in the day or something.
Like
but
cocaine
but
wars,
cocaine
yeah.
cowboys, this and that. And then the worst of the worst was probably bath salts when a couple times somebody tried to
Yeah.
eat somebody's face off. Now that's horrible and sad and all that, but that's just drugs. And I think you're gonna find that in any city, anywhere. It's just happened, just to make a lot of news here. Because drugs are horrible and it's a bad thing. But
Oh, this is what it says.
National Booty
Behavior.
Protection. National Booty Behavior Protection. I don't know. I just think if somebody thought he was funny and being silly. I don't even know if he really represents a Florida man so bad. But
Okay, so then we're moving on to fact or fiction. Fact or fiction. You learned a lot about the wrestling business from being around Chris Benoit and Eddie Guerrero.
Chris Benoit and Eddie Guerrero. Yes. Fact. Tons. I traveled with them for a brief period. No longer than a year did I travel with them, but within that period of time, I learned so much to look at professional wrestling in such a different way. I couldn't eat the amount of food or train as much as they did. These dudes were dedicated. They were super dedicated to the craft and their bodies and being professional athletes and representing professional wrestling the best they could. But they would break down like they would break the day down like from the minute you walked into a building to the minute you left the building, from everybody's hellos to the agents approached you, to how you were giving your match, to the match itself, how it went down, to how the person you were working. They looked into everything and broke it down, and there's just so much more to it that I don't even want to get into it. It'd be so deep, but yes, I learned tremendous amounts of knowledge and how to survive, and also how to look at things different and take myself out of a box and look in, instead of staying in the box and just seeing things one way, how to remove myself and look in. But they were tremendously dedicated, and they were two of the greatest wrestlers there were. So
That's
fact.
Very awesome. Fact or fiction, Ric Flair was one of your favorite wrestlers growing up.
I could say fact. I said never meet. I enjoyed it. It was like my favorite in the sense that he always wrestled my favorites too. So I was always happy to see Ric Flair come to town. Like he'd wrestle Barry Windham, and when he'd come to Florida and do the Florida loops and stuff like that. Is he one of my favorites now? No, but he was when I was younger. Yes, fact.
Awesome. Fact or fiction, you've partied with legendary rapper Flavor Flav.
Fact. Definite fact. I've partied with him in Las Vegas. Yes.
Flavor Flav.
And I was still coming down from being like, so this guy, Flavor Flav's a trip though. He's a nice guy, but yeah, fact, a party with him. But like, I wasn't myself though. Like the night before, I was at a party. Went to this. We've talked about this on here before. Where whatever, we're invited to this. I don't even know how to go on. We've already gone over this here, but. You weren't here though, have you? You never heard these stories, have you?
I don't know what story
So,
it is. Like,
all right, so hanging out in
wasn't
Vegas,
here?
partying,
Then
right?
no.
Partying. Invited to the. I was with the girl that I was married to at the time. And these guys, they were out in the bar and they were talking to her, talking to me, and they're like, "Oh, you're welcome to come up to this private party." Like, so you think it's just you're gonna go up to this room, but when you go up, it's the whole floor of the hotel. It's one of those weird, like,
Gotcha.
weird parties, where there's a dude checking you in at the counter. You go in and they go, "Oh, you're with me," and then you walk in. But you go in, all the hotel doors are open. The whole floor is just a party, and then you sit down, and these guys kept bringing her a drink. They invited us. They kept bringing her a drink. "Oh, here, have a drink." And she would set it to the side. She goes, "I'm not drinking that shit." I'm like, "I will," but So the party was getting weird. I drank the drinks. It was drinks. Next thing you know, there's this big spider web, a chain spider web, right? And they chained this girl naked to the spider web, right? Yeah. She's chained naked. She's like on the spider web, like this handcuffed, like on the spider web, and like a fire dancer dude comes in. He's like doing the fire thing, and he's like burning her nipples and burning her on a thing, and they're doing all this, and I'm like, whoa, and I'm like, this is really intense. And then the girl is with, she's like, we gotta go. I go, no, like hang out, we'll see where this goes. Like, long story short, she's trying to go the whole time. She's like, her flag's up. She's not drinking these drinks, and I'm drinking these drinks these dudes are bringing her, and they're thinking she's drinking it, and then I go, I don't know if, I went to the bathroom then. So I went to the bathroom. I go to the bathroom. There's a dude in there naked. He's not totally naked. He has like a leather apron on. Like he's like just in a gas mask and like Doc Martens or whatever, like some kind of goose like that. So he goes in there and he's slinging like $50 8-balls of like pure cocaine. Like he's like, I'm like, oh, I'll take 2, like 3 or whatever I took. I don't even know. I think it was 3 I took because I gave one to somebody, and I took 2. And I come out, and she goes, "What is wrong with you?" And I go, "I don't know." Like she wants to go. I go, let's just take a walk and see what's going on there. And then walk into another room, and it's this huge bed, and there's the mirrors on the ceiling and stuff like that. And I'm sitting down in the bed. I go, "Oh, this is cool." It was like a couch but a bed. I don't know how to explain it. It was a big circle, right? It was a big, and guy comes in a tuxedo, and he goes, "Oh, I don't know." I asked him, I can't remember exactly what I asked him, and he goes, "Oh, it's for the orgy later, the orgy." She goes, we gotta go. She was trying to drag me out of there, but long story short, we leave, but it took me like, I had to do all that sugar booger to try to stay straight because I didn't know what was going on with me. I didn't drink that much, but I was just like effed up. I was like falling all over. Like I couldn't find my car where I was, like where I parked or anything. And she's getting mad at me. And then I'm like, I was just like, I don't know. It was a hot mess. Like I couldn't figure it out. Finally, get the car, go back to the other side of the strip in Vegas. And then, she goes, "I'm going to sleep." She's like really mad at me by this point. like I'm on total like loser mode, And then I can't sleep. I'm like, what is wrong with me? Like, of course I did a lot of bad stuff. The sugar booger, right? The devil's dandruff. I did a lot of that. There's no denying that. I did 2 of those 8-balls. Right? But I was doing it to even just try to find the car. To be honest, I was so messed up. And then I'm laying in the bed and I'm like looking at her and she opens her eyes. She goes, "What is wrong with you?" She's like really mad. I go, She goes, "What?" I go, "You're turning into Alice Cooper." I was tripping balls. I was so messed up. Her face, like her eyeliner melted. It looked like Alice Cooper, I was like, ah! I sat back and I go, "What is going on?" And then I looked at my hand and I was looking at my hand. And you ever see the movie The Transformers? Yeah. It was like the yellow Transformer, and it turned into a helicopter. And my hand turned into a helicopter and flew off my arm. It like flew out of. I go, and then I started laughing. She goes, "What is wrong with you?" I go, "My hand turned into a helicopter, flew off." She goes, "Why are you laughing?" I go, "Because those drinks." Because I realized it was those drinks. They were trying to load her up. It was like probably super dirty ecstasy or something like that. So I was like tripping balls and I was horny and I was all kinds of like weird stuff going on. And plus I did that other stuff. So all the combination of it, I was just a hot mess. So I never slept that night. I just laid there tripping, and then I had to be at the AVN Awards, the film awards, and then I went to go in. They would let me in and go, "Are you all right?" I go, "Yeah, man, I'm all right." I was just pouring sweat. I was still tripping balls, And then I got through it, and then I ran into Flavor Flav, and then we partied a little bit later that night too after. Up at a private suite, but no, it was cool. So yeah, fact. I don't know how I tell that. I didn't get there, but definitely a fact. But it was a rough night that next night. Well, that whole 24 hours or 40 hours, whatever it was really rough. There's more to the story, but I was a little hesitant about saying the drugs I was doing. But I've already done it on there, said it here before.
Yeah,
but I'm trying to be more laid back on that. I'm trying to I'm not gonna hide and run from my past because I'm walking a better path now, and I'm doing I barely even finish a glass of wine now, but I don't touch any drugs or anything like that. that. I don't even take painkillers anymore. I mean, the heaviest thing I take now is an ibuprofen. But I can't run from who I was and what I did and how I lived and stuff like that. So I'm not making any excuses either. You know, I gave you along the last podcast here, broke you down about the loop-de-loops, the hoop-de-hoops, the broken bones and busted homes, and you know, a lot of lonely nights come. But yeah, Fangin and Bangin, want some, get some, bad enough, take some, eat all in, 24/7, can't stop, won't stop, right? Yeah. You're like, whatever, dude. I gotta get out of here soon. So the more I gotta run through this and get out on my schedule, and you can get to your show, because I actually gotta run right from here and get out to
Homestead.
CCW. Yeah. I gotta go down to Homestead,
That's so
do that show tonight. It hopefully he just sent the format. It came in, so he tells me he's coming. Yeah. And I said, no, you're not. I mean, now ultimately he's not coming. I knew that. I don't even know why he told me he was. The salesman in him had to make him say that. But he sent the format. But when I should look at this format now before we even go on any further and see what match I actually. Oh, Raymond sent me some. Oh, he sent me the Booty Patrol card, Raymond. See if he kept his word on our matches, Nicole, or my match. Oh, he has you in a match. Oh, my God. He has some of the worst talent in the world on this show. Damian Finner, Jackal Stevens. That'll be a good one. The Invoke. The Eight Trucks. I can't even pronounce their names. Bro, I am third. Cool Beans. He kept his word on that one. Thank you, W. Fangin and Bangin. So I'm third match mama. That means I'm going to be back home by at least midnight. So I'm going to get home at midnight. That means I'll get 2 hours of sleep before I get up to shower, power shower, and force some friggin' eggs down. Well, these people don't care, but I think you might care. I told you I started dieting. Quentin wrote me, the Belgium Terminator or whatever, wrote me a diet. But it was just basically a food I would eat. I just don't eat. I'm forced myself to eat. And I was afraid eating the more food that I would actually gain the weight. But I struggled to eat it. But I went from like 257 in whatever Saturday it was to today. I weighed in at 249. 249. So I can go skydiving. Rocky Mountain climbing.
I'm not going climbing, but I'll definitely skydiving.
Skydiving. It was a.
There's a lot of weird shit in the woods.
Did Darby Allin break his foot? He can't go climbing Mount Everest now. Did I hear that? Is that true, or is that something? I don't know. I thought I heard he broke his foot and he can't climb Mount Everest now. Maybe he's gonna take time off. He's gonna go climb Mount Everest.
I don't know.
I wonder where he broke his foot. If it's wrestling or skateboarding. Foot.
Yeah, there's a lot more
endurance and psych eval needs to be giving, and
your
a lot of people
being able to breathe at a high altitude.
I already broke. I think I thought I saw something where he broke his foot and he couldn't climb it. I am all over the place here today. Yeah. So skydiving, because we're talking about skydiving. We're gonna do it, Raymond. We didn't smarten you up to this, by the way. That's probably where we're gonna take that money out of that podcast stuff that comes in here, so we can go skydiving. But there's a weight limit. Most of them say 240. It's 200 pounds, and anything over 200 pounds, they charge you $1 a pound extra, but the limit's 240, so another 40. But she says it's 250. But it does say how your structure is, how your structure looks.
It depends where.
So I'm guessing if they say you're 250, maybe they're thinking you're 250 like a beach ball, that you're not gonna die. But maybe if you're 250 and you're shaped differently, maybe you can still do it. So
when I went skydiving, I was 238.
Oh, but you're gonna film it. You're not gonna skydive. There you go.
Are you
gonna be able to film it when we jump out of the plane? Film her, me.
Yeah, probably. I don't think you can. I mean, from when I did it, it was like one at a time. It wasn't in groups. Like you can only do groups when you're like experienced.
Oh, out of tandem jumps.
So it's like one at a time. Yeah.
But
sure.
One plane, one dive at a time, or
yeah, one plane, one dive at a time.
Oh, so he goes up, one comes out. So it's not like
you wouldn't be able to do it all.
But what if okay. All right.
They do it at like separate times. Like every so often, someone else jumps off, and you all meet in the ground. Yeah, I don't think you can do it together unless.
I'm sure there's a way we can film that. We film up to it, then each one of us have some kind of GoPro or something.
No, they give you video. Like you have someone filming you at all times. But I don't think you can do it together. I don't know. I don't know anything about skydiving other than that I've done it. But
you've done it once or no?
Yeah.
All right, and you liked it.
It was fun.
You obviously lived.
Yeah. Okay. Or maybe.
Raymond?
This is not Nicole.
You gonna go skydiving?
I would.
You would? Are you going to? It's a yes or no.
Yes.
For the content, yeah, but no, you're not normally just gonna go do it yourself. All right. Well, skydiving is definitely on the agenda at some point this year. Susan thinks I'm nuts. Susan says you're nuts.
We'll have to do more.
But I gotta get the weight down.
On that.
I think I looked. There's a weight limit. Like in Florida laws have a weight limit. Like
I think they all have a weight limit. I just don't know like what the other stuff is, like structure. Like I don't know anything about.
It did say something about if your height. Some things vary due to how you're built. I think that's the way. I didn't read. They didn't say that, but the way the wording was.
I'm telling you, I was 238 when I went skydiving, and I believe that limit was like 240. So I was like, oh yeah, I'm 200 pounds.
Oh, they didn't weigh you?
No.
Well, they said they were going to weigh the things I was reading. Said
Well,
they
some
weigh you
places
in,
weigh
and
you, some
and
places
it
don't.
counts
I
your
don't know.
clothes.
Yeah, I don't know.
So hold on, you weren't scared? Like if the limit was 240 and you're 238, which is hard to believe, but you got a lot of muscle, so you're probably 230. If you say you're what are you 180 now?
No, I'm 193. I'm like gaining weight, which
She's
is crazy.
a brick.
Literally, I'm like,
House.
I'm dieting and I'm gaining weight. I mean, I know it's muscle, but it's like
She's mighty. She's letting it all hang out because she's a brick. House. But Commodore's Raymond, in case you didn't know. But Rob Zombie does a version. It's really good too. Yeah, that's muscle though, because you're in the gym a lot now, so you train.
Yeah.
But back to 238. The weight limit's 240. And there's a reason there's a weight limit, but you didn't feel in fear for your life, like saying, "Hey, no, I'm a certain weight
I think
that
the
you could
last
possibly
thing I was worried
die."
was my weight. You could die in 10 different ways, and it has nothing to do with your weight. Like
But there's a reason there's a weight. Why do you
think?
think? What is the reason there's a weight limit? There's got to be a reason there's a weight limit. Like
I think it's more like, I believe it's because usually people that are 238 pounds don't look like I did at 238 pounds, and the harness that you wear, it only goes so wide.
Not once, but not twice, but 3 times already. I've learned the hard way about weight limits. There's these chairs, and when they're sitting on floors that are like marble or smooth like floors, and these plastic chairs, here's a weight limit on it. You need to heed to that weight limit, because I have broken some chairs at some people's bar mitzvahs and barbecues or whatever the events were. I have found my ass 3 times sitting on the floor because I ignored a weight limit on a chair. That's why you'll always, and I don't know if you've noticed at the school or anywhere else now, I ease my big ass down into a chair because I have broken 3 of those bastards, and it didn't hurt, but it was more embarrassing than anything. Well, but I remember 2 of the times I didn't spill my beer. I was back when I was drinking. And he's like, hey, But so I'm thinking if there's the weight limit on the chairs, I didn't pay attention, but there's a weight limit on skydiving. I'm kind of taking notice because you're thousands of feet in the air and you're just free falling. You free fall at 120 mile an hour for I don't know how many such and such a feet, and then the parachute comes. But there's got to be a reason there's a weight limit, unless what are you gonna do? Yeah, I weigh 240, but give me the skinniest instructor there, so then our weights will balance out.
Too, and also like they probably can't. I mean, maybe parachutes have a weight limit,
So you don't want the parachute to work? Maybe it pulls, yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what I was going through at that time in my life, but I was just like, I'm just gonna screw it. Take me.
I never hear you cuss.
At least it's not a building. Sorry.
That must be a genuine emotion.
No, literally, I was just like, I'm out.
All right, but I'm down. I'm always been down. Raymond's not the first time Raymond's heard this because I was gonna try to get the twins and Anna to go skydiving.
They should still do it.
I don't. She was still down with it, but like.
I need to meet her. I still haven't met Anna.
She doesn't wrestle anymore. She's fully emerged into Epilepsy Alliance Florida. There's a walk coming up. You're welcome to come to the walk on if you're around on October. When's WrestleMania? It's the 7th because I fly up. I fly out on the 8th to Australia, so I go to Philly. I do that Friday at Icons at WrestleMania weekend in Philly. WrestleMania is the Saturday, Sunday, right? But that Sunday, that's the walk here because I'll be home for the walk on Hollywood Beach right there on the North Beach. Okay. And then that Monday, the 8th, I know that date because I fly to Australia, and I'm not looking forward to it. Sitting on the fly to L.A. and then L.A. to Melbourne, and then coming home at some ridiculous flight, Sydney to Melbourne, Melbourne to Sydney, Sydney to Dallas, and then Dallas to Miami.
I always wanted to go to Australia, but I'm scared of those spiders that they got over there. They're like on steroids. I don't know. Animals out there look crazy.
Yeah, I just stay in the towns and the coastline, like Wollongong,
There's
Brisbane.
Like snakes coming out of your toilet.
Yeah, that's up in the Queensland or whatever up north. There's snakes that go on top of the water and stuff like that. No, I'm not messing with any of that stuff.
Yeah.
But it's a great country. East and West. I prefer the West Coast to Perth. Perth is country,
Perth
and
is
it's
really
very nice. It's really chill, really cool. You can still go out in the city and do city things and cool
Isn't
things.
that what they were holding that show?
They had the Elimination Chamber
It's
there,
in Perth,
I think.
right?
One of them, it was in Perth. I think they already had it. Yeah, they just had it 2 weeks ago or 2 weeks ago. Yeah,
It was Perth.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I've heard.
And that's a great city, Perth. But so you get to Melbourne or Sydney or wherever you fly into, and then it's another like 5 hours across. It's like flying across the states. The same
That's
thing,
crazy.
But I guess we got to move on now. We got all distracted and sidetracked here.
So getting into wrestling, we have Logan Paul's statement on WWE ring mat advertisement. He recently addressed the backlash surrounding Prime Center ring sponsorship in WWE, a move that has sparked a debate on the use of advertising inside the wrestling ring. WWE and Logan Paul's Prime have struck a record-setting deal to feature the sports drink as a first-ever brand logo to appear in the center of the wrestling mat. This is said to be the largest deal that WWE has ever struck with a sponsor. It's a 2-year sponsorship, but specific financial terms weren't publicly stated. And there's more. He stated...
Logan Paul.
Yeah. Logan stated, "It's never been done, and Vince McMahon was always really protective of the mat and not putting any brands on it. But in this new era, which it is, no matter how you cut it, TKO is a publicly traded company. They got to meet a bottom line. That spot was going to be sold. We saw an opportunity and potentially an opportunity to make people hate me even more. Because I am a heel, and that's kind of the angle I took. I was like, F y'all, I'm going to stamp everything about this with me so you're reminded of just what my aim is, to take over this company." So questions for you. Sorry. What's your personal feelings and thoughts on WWE, including in-ring mat advertisements?
I don't know. I've not seen any in forever. Not in WWE, that's for sure, or WWF. I'm trying to think back to other companies that I might have seen it. I've seen it in Mexico or different things with Corona and Japan and other places and different overseas tours, and people would always sell that advertising. But WWE, like you said, Vince McMahon was always very protective of it. Very true on Paul's statement is that, yeah, it's a publicly traded company now, TKO. Things are changing, in MMA and whatnot. There's blood all over somebody's logo, whatever it is, all over the ring, and they change it constantly. So they're probably, no matter what, we're going to do it. But I guess, maybe the fans get upset this and that. It's because it's Logan Paul's brand, It's like, it's a guy that a lot of fans don't think put any time in the wrestle, which I think he's very talented. I think his brother's going to get his ass kicked by Mike Tyson. But I don't know, man. Mike Tyson, I don't know. Even an old Mike Tyson, I don't want to hit me, maybe it's a whole other story, Jake Paul. You know about that, right?
Yeah.
Who do you think's going to win that?
I don't know. I mean, if I'm
Maybe-
always like careful with my opinions, but I know that there's a lot of like rigged stuff going on. People get
It
paid
is a
out for
work. It's
stuff,
supposed to be,
so-
yeah. You
So I
can't-
don't know what'll happen, but whatever the outcome may be, it's either it was rigged or
Didn't I lead
actually-
off and teach you believe none of what you hear and only half of what you see, right?
Yeah.
Is that one? It should have been one of the first lessons in class. Like, believe none of what you hear and only half of
No,
what
I
you
didn't
see.
learn that till not too long ago.
Okay, well, that's a fact. And now I think it's believe none of what you see. So I think every professional event is worked in some kind of way. I really do, and that might be the wrestler in me, but it might not be the actual participant, but between the referees or who got the spot or how or the officials in charge and how they directed it, or who picked who for what event or location. There's so much to it that I think they, like anything in life, they put the odds in their favors or whatever favor they want the odds to be in. But I think the question here, I think maybe, I don't know, you're saying people got upset, people were upset with this, and is that what they were saying?
Some people were, upset.
I think maybe the only thing as I see is that Logan Paul maybe fans would think like this guy's come on the scene, Johnny come lately, him and his brother are social media influencers, him being one in WWF. But he did show incredible potential. His matches they're not the greatest, but they were far by not the worst. He's really good in it. But the thing is TKO is there, but it's Logan Paul's. It's his drink, right? It's in prime. So I think that might be more conflict for me. I mean, I guess somebody's got to get it. Kudos for him for being the businessman on top. Maybe he's trying to make up for all that Bitcoin, whatever he got in trouble with. What was that he got in trouble with? Where he had to pay people back? Some kind of thing that did.
I don't know.
It was some kind of coin thing, right? One of those gimmick things. But
it's like a bot or something.
Yeah, I don't know. It is what it is. They got all those LED lightings and this, and then they had a Mountain Dew match with Bray Wyatt. They had this and this and that. So I see it's already gone that direction. So if they could have a Mountain Dew sponsor match or have Skittles sponsor a match and this and this and that, I don't see anything wrong with on the canvas. It's just where it is. It's a publicly traded company. That's just business. Maybe the only conflict I see is Logan Paul is a talent there, and it's his brand. You know what I mean? And he's saying, he'll run with it. They could say, F you, you're making more of a heel. But that's just him covering up the fact that he slid in there and got a business deal in it, made some money, So, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, everything's changed. Not everything, but everything's evolving, and it's an end of an era, good or bad or whatever Vince McMahon was. It's the end of an era. It's TKO now. It's everything's gonna be looked at differently. That's what it is.
And on that, how might the introduction of in-ring advertisements affect the wrestler's performance or the audience viewer experience? Do you think it'll have any effect on it?
Well, I think that if they don't like Logan Paul, they're gonna maybe not like WWE more because they went with him and his brand. Maybe it'll put a little bit of damper there. Maybe not, because there's a lot of kids that watch WWE. So it might affect that in some kind of sense. The wrestlers, I think they'll think, like, if he can have his brand on there, why can't they be selling their own brand and have their own stuff and wear their own things? That might be a problem. Where they, like, maybe they want to be sponsored by Adidas or Nike as a professional athlete and wear that stuff, or maybe TKO and other people might want not. But fighters in the UFC and all that, they have sponsorships and stuff like that. So I think maybe wrestlers, this opens the door for them to say, no, I want to have my own sponsorship. So, like, just like if you're going to sell that brand of advertising on the canvas and do that, and Logan Paul can get on it, then why can't I be sponsored by Everlast or GNC? Or so you might see wrestlers with like GNC gear or Redcon one, like Brian Cage. Well, they have done that with like Redcon a little bit in AEW, but not to a degree. But they have sponsored athletes and So I think it might cause a little conflict there, where people will think maybe like wrestlers will see the opportunity to say, hey, what about me?
I mean, it reminds me of, Dana White and what was happening with Bud Light for a while. Bud Light had been canceled because there was like some controversy of like a transgender making fun of something.
Want to do
Bud
a certain
Light.
beer, or something.
And then they ended up getting sponsored by them. And Dana White basically, what it came down to, his response was, it's money. At the end of the day, it's a business. Like, I'm a businessman.
It's business.
So it's kind of the same. I mean, obviously different situations, but I think it comes down to the same response, where it's like, at the end of the day, the show must go on and they have to sponsor it to be able to pay for it.
Logan Paul, I'm looking to wear like some Prime energy drink on my ass or whatever. I'll put it on the side of my tights. I don't think I'm going to draw that viewership you're getting in WWE, but no, that's what it's going to do though. Like, I think the backlash will be that the wrestlers themselves are going to want to renegotiate their contracts or something, much like the UFC guys, and have sponsorships. But they'll be like, oh, we're paying you enough, but the UFC's paying them enough to fight too, but they still have sponsorships.
Exactly,
the guys, So I think that's going to open another debate or avenue of discussion there, or a little backlash, or a lot of backlash.
So on that, from a wrestler's standpoint, what are the potential benefits and drawbacks of having branded sponsorships so prominently displayed during matches?
Well, I if I was there and I was in my groove and in my time and my head is where my head is now, I would be like, well, if they're doing that, I want to be able to have, like I said, I'd want, just for an example, GNC, I just can't pull anything off the top of my head, or Fightwear or whatever, some kind of branding. What supplements do you use?
I don't know. I get myself from Amazon.
All right, Amazon. Maybe I want Amazon Prime to
I stopped going to like
sponsor me and my training, this and that. Even though I'm getting paid millions of dollars or hundreds of thousands of dollars, but they're gonna want that because
have
they're gonna
sponsorships. If some of these brands ask for too much, like you need to do this and this and that, and I'm like, I don't get paid enough for all that.
Yeah,
So,
but I mean, I think that just opens that avenue window, and I think that might, just like, all the years of all the colleges, not the students weren't able to accept money or have sponsorships or trade, work with a company, branding company and stuff like that. Now they do, different things, and I think that's what that avenue. I think that's going to lead to that, and it's just going to be so mainstream and whatever. But it's just big business, and it like you said, Dana White said, at the end of the day, it comes down to money. You know, money's money, and everybody's about making money. So and securing their future and what they believed they want their future to be. So
yeah. And then talking about WrestleMania coming up, CM Punk's WrestleMania 40 status. WrestleMania 40 is less than 3 weeks away, and CM Punk has not been cleared to compete at this year's event. This is due to the torn tricep injury that happened during his Royal Rumble match back in January. Here's some of what CM Punk had to say about the tricep injury. He stated, "I was going to headline WrestleMania. Obviously, I'm not, but, it's sports. It's what happened to athletes. Mentally, I think it's harder because the physical pain is whatever." And then there's more.
And there's more.
So question for you is...
Why is it always a question for me? Like,
CM Punk mentioned injuries being harder to deal with mentally versus physically for athletes. Can you relate to the statement? And how have you dealt with injuries throughout your career?
He stated what? The harder to deal with mentally than physically?
The mental aspect of an injury is harder than the actual physical aspect.
Yeah, well...
Too, yeah, definitely.
I've injury. I mean, physically, like, I don't see a Punk's 55 yet, but they start hurting physically later. Physical's becoming more of a than a mental thing for me. I'm starting to feel it. But when I was younger, grinding, I guess it's still more mentally. Yeah, mentally, like, oh shit, another injury again, or man, you start questioning yourself. Am I too old for this? I'm gonna fall apart. Like, can my body withstand the schedule? What am I doing wrong? Do I need to change that? So yeah, mentally, it affects you mentally. Physically, as an athlete, you're gonna rehab it. You know what you got to do. When I get hurt, I know immediately what I got to do. And I accept that because that's just part of being an athlete. It's an injury. You got to go do this. You're gonna bomb. You're gonna start PT or PRP, and you're gonna go through the processes and the steps, and you get back. Mentally, you're going like, damn, another injury. Like, man, what's going on? And then you come back, you're feeling great, and everything's going good, and then you tear two triceps. You're like, damn, I'm on top of the world, and now it's gone. Am I able to do this? And so it's part of those loop-de-loops and hoop-de-hoops I talked about, the ups, downs, and all the rounds. You know what I mean? You're on top of the world today. You're like Leonardo DiCaprio, king of the world.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, I'm down in the basement. Like crying. Yeah. Because I got an Achilles injury, or I got this or that, and mentally too. An injury affects your income. You can heal from it, but will your spot be gone when you come back? Will that moment be lost? Like, yeah, sure, you're gonna heal. Physically, you're gonna heal. You know what to do to heal yourself, and you know the procedure. But did you lose that chance, that momentum you had, the direction you're going, and everything's like momentum. Basketball, I think. I talk about things being a work and sports and stuff, but I also believe in momentum. Like, if a team's on a winning streak, that winning streak, it could be like not the greatest team in the world, but if they got that momentum and it'll carry them through, till they meet ultimately the best team there is, or whatever. Somebody that's just that damn good, fundamentally, physically, talented. But so, it's just you lose your momentum. You might lose your spot. You definitely. You're gonna lose some money if you're not working, and you just wonder, are you gonna be able to get back into that groove, and if so, when's the next injury? Because like you're getting more and more and more. So it's definitely more mental than anything else.
I can relate.
I mean, there's some. I'm not writing off breaking your neck. There's some horrible injuries that can happen, and soon will if the style of wrestling doesn't change soon. There's bound to be something bad's gonna happen soon, but. Yeah. Mentally, though. Definitely mentally. For me, it's always been mental. I go, oh, man, I'm just getting old. What's going on? Like another injury, or you lose your, like we talked about, losing your spot or the momentum or this or that.
Yeah. CM Punk is advertised for the upcoming.
What is this, a CM Punk hour? Go on.
No, I don't know. I don't know. I like.
No, it's not you. It's Raymond and his choice of topics. But go on.
CM Punk is advertised for the upcoming March 25th edition of Monday Night Raw in his hometown of Chicago, leaving some fans to speculate.
Monday, right?
Huh?
It's this Monday. If today's the 21st, right?
Yeah. Friday is the 22nd.
Yeah, okay.
Leaving some fans to speculate as possible angle that would lead to Punk competing at WrestleMania 40, while others speculate this is simply due to Raw being in Chicago. There's more to it. All we can do is speculate at this point, but with that being said, here are 5 ways CM Punk could appear at WrestleMania 40. Number 1, he is a special guest referee at Seth Rollins versus Drew McIntyre. Number 2 is he is the host of WrestleMania 40. 3, joins the commentary booth for WrestleMania. 4, is a guest on the Grayson Waller Effect. And 5, joins the kickoff panel for the show. Question for you is, out of all the possibilities for CM Punk appearing in WrestleMania 40, which do you think is most likely to happen?
I don't know about a special guest referee. Then again, I haven't been watching much, but I have seen I have got home and turned the TV on from class and seen like some Seth Rollins and Drew McIntyre segments. Like this past Monday, I saw that segment where they were going back and forth and they dropped the mics on each other, whatever. I guess that's a cool thing now to do, drop the mic. I don't know. I think a guest referee might take away from Rollins and McIntyre. Maybe he would do a run-in on that, like maybe be involved in a finish, but I don't know why or how. For sure, because I don't think he's on either one would align with either one of them. So I'd say 1's out. 2, host the whole WrestleMania. No, I don't see that. But I've been wrong about a lot of things. I'd say 1 and 2 are out. 3, CM Punk joins the commentary booth for WrestleMania. I see 3 as a possibility. 3, 4, and 5 are definitely possibilities. 4, CM Punk is a guest on the Grayson Waller Effect. If they do have that at WrestleMania, if they have that on there, that could be a possibility. 5, CM Punk joins the kickoff before the show. I think the kickoff thing might be a little beneath them. So I would say 3 or 4. If they have the Grayson Waller Effect on there, I'd say it would be that. 3 and 4 are the possibility out of the 2. I can't give you those 2. I can't limit it down, but 3 or 4. So 3 being CM Punk joins the commentary booth for WrestleMania. 4 being CM Punk as a guest on the Grayson Waller Effect. And I like Grayson Waller. He's a great guy. He's an Australian too. So yeah, he's a good guy. So he comes to shows once in a while and still comes in. And like some of the other NXT guys will do, they'll come to like Kissimmee or they'll come down. I'll see him at Boca. And they're always it's still nice and humble, on their journey up and the things they're doing. So it's always good to see guys like that.
Awesome.
Be humble and still respectful like that.
Legendary families of wrestling, the Samoans and the Rhodes. With the current top feud in pro wrestling being The Rock and Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes, it's caused a lot of tension between both the Samoan Bloodline and the Rhodes Bloodline. This is evident in The Rock's inserting himself into Cody and Roman's feud. Dustin Rhodes, aka Goldust, also took to social media to defend his brother Cody and his family name by posting a video and saying F The Rock. There's more to it. Question for you, with your close history with both the Rhodes family and the Samoan Bloodline, can you name some of your favorite qualities and lessons you've learned from both families?
No. No, because I'm not really close friends with her. I mean, I've worked Dustin. I know Dustin. I couldn't say we go to dinner together. I mean, I wrestled his dad, too. I've never wrestled Cody. Dusty, he's taught me a lot and overlooked a lot of things. But lessons I've learned from both families. So, I mean, and the Rhodes is yeah. Dusty was a great booker. They got term Dusty finishes and different things. So I would just pick up stuff like that. Just how to, keep grinding out and be a hard worker. But the Samoans, they're just like, I don't know. I think that would have to be a work. I don't think Goldust is going to go up to The Rock and say F you, because then you're going to get Kishi, you're going to get like 12 other Samoans are going to beat you up. You know what I mean? So I think it's a work. I think they're just building things for the thing. So I don't really want to jump into that or even try to speculate and work through the smoke and mirrors of this guy. But the Samoans, I've talked about it on here the last show. Like we're going over it again. I've learned my hustle from them, the grind, the work, always to have another project and things, and something else lined up, or something falls through, just to keep pushing and grinding that hustle. I've learned definitely hustle. Like Alpha, I trained with Rusty Brooks and Boris Malenko. I trained with them. Then I trained in Calgary in a dungeon. And then, I went to Japan, Puerto Rico by then, Memphis worked. But then I wanted to train some more. I thought, like, you can never learn from enough schools, have enough education in professional wrestling. So I went to Samoan school with Alpha and started running. I went there to learn, but like a week or two in, I was running the school or something like that. He had me teaching the classes and stuff like that. But I learned so much how to run a school and business sense and how to look at things and again the hustle. Like Alpha was the king of hustle. Like he's the king of like all the Samoans, and at that time, he was the guy. I mean, it started out Peter Maivia, there was more prior to him, but Alpha like was in WWF and was like the mainstay. Alpha and Sika being Roman Reigns' dad, and I don't know. I just learned so much hustle and respect and loyalty, and all the families' loyalty. Both those, they all showed loyalty. But the Samoans is just a very, they say blood's thicker than water, and that's very true with the Samoans. You're not gonna cross the Samoans. So I find it very weird. It was definitely fueling an angle because none of them are. They might have the balls to walk up there and say that, but they're not gonna walk away too well if they go up and say F this to one of the Samoans. You know what I mean? It's not going to turn out very well. I don't think anybody in their right sense of mind is going to do that to any Samoan. So it's just probably fueling all that. So I don't want to get into that and comparing families because it's so different. Dusty's traditional coming up. Dusty Rhodes is legend. Like he's Dusty Rhodes. It's Dusty Rhodes, American Dream. Dusty's Dusty. And then the Samoans, though, I think the Samoans are more of a dominant family. If you want me to compare families and say who was more dominant, I'd say the Samoans, and they're still currently more dominant. How many Rhodes are wrestling now, Two, Dustin runs a school, and then you got Cody, Samoans, there's a Samoan on every block wrestling, you know what I mean? They're lined up, look at the bloodline. I mean, they're still coming, I've trained like a lot of Samoans, so I know. So I would say they're more of a dominant force and whatnot, but they both all have great qualities in their own, and family qualities too. But it's hard growing up in wrestling, so just as much as you want to pump sunshine in, you could turn to the west and see the clouds and storms too. You know what I mean? Pain and pleasure go together, contributing to the ultimate bliss. Bliss being the legacy you leave in wrestling, but it doesn't come without pain. But there's a lot of pleasure, but it doesn't come without pain. So with every bit of light, there's darkness. So that's a tough one to go.
So Dusty Rhodes, no doubt, would be considered the head of the table amongst his family. But who would you consider to be the head of the table for the Samoan bloodline in the world of pro wrestling?
Well, if you go by what I know, I would say Alpha, who I want to send out some condolences to. He's in the hospital. I think he had a fall and broke his back. He's been going through some health problems. So send prayers out to Alpha and his family as he goes through that, he heals, and hopefully it all comes out okay, and he gets well soon. Alpha was the one piloting the things in my eyes is what I seen. He had TK come in, the Tonga Kid. You had Samu, who's Alpha's son, Samu, and Rikishi was also part. They were a small Swati. I mean, Alpha. I would say Alpha, but if you want to go by popularity now, power and stuff like that, then I would say maybe The Rock has moved into that in the eyes of everybody else in the entertainment world. But culturally right now, I think Alpha is, and then I don't know who would be next after Alpha. Something doesn't go well with Alpha, I don't know. Hopefully he's okay and everything goes well, because they're a very culturally driven thing. They just, because they say they're the head of a table on TV, that's not how they act in the back. And how they acted in the back when I was there. And this is when I was there. Things have changed. Things change, But it was always Alpha. Alpha was the man. Alpha was the head of the table. You went through Alpha, If Alpha goes, I don't know. If you go popularity, you're looking through a fan's point of view and eyes, you would have thought maybe it was Roman Reigns, looking at his fan, but then Rock comes in, he's a big TV star, he's done this, he was there before Roman. It's easy to go, oh, well, The Rock, but if you're looking at it through my eyes and what I've experienced and seen behind the scenes, I'm going to say Alpha of the Wild Samoans, Alpha and Zika Alpha. But, I don't know. That's why I say I'm very neutral on that. I don't get it. I don't want to get too much in any of none of those guys' business. Stay in my lane. It's better to stay in your own lane.
Now we're gonna go over some fan comments and questions, which are gonna section out from what you were just talking about. So this is from the last episode. Yeah. So from the last episode, Peter Graff wants to know, or he has a comment. I've learned more about Samoan culture from Gangrel than I ever expected to know from anywhere. It's great. Uh-huh. Just talking about that to fit in perfectly.
Yeah. I owe a lot to the Samoans. Like I said, I learned to hustle, how to run a school, academy. All times they're amazing people. Their culture is amazing. Their islands is amazing, and they're not to be messed with. I can tell you that. And if they tell you to stay in your lane, you better stay in your lane because they'll slap you right back into your lane. But no, Samoans are amazing people. All I know is the food will put 30, 40 pounds on you, so avoid the food.
Another one, Joseph Lascola 6592 says, first time I slept over at my ex-girlfriend's, I found out she sleeps with the ID channel on, and I couldn't sleep because all they talked about was the woman killing the guy while he slept. Amen, right?
I know a lot of, well, yeah, I understand, and I can relate with you. Talking about the Oxygen channel and Snapped, and women, and there was also another show. There was another one actually about being newlyweds, killing each other. The woman killing the guy or whatever, just newlyweds die. But I find this funny that he's saying his ex-girlfriend sleeps with the ID channel on, but I find that a lot of people have to put a forensics files on, or you put forensic files.
I was just watching Quiet on Set last night about Nickelodeon, and I always watch crime shows before I go to bed. Maybe that's why I can't sleep. I don't know, but I have to watch murder mysteries before I go to bed.
Yeah,
have to. It's like
I mean, when I was with Luna, it wasn't an actual. If they didn't have these type of shows, they might have had America's Most Wanted then, but they didn't have these shows yet. But she watched MASH, one of the most depressing shows ever to go to sleep to. You ever watch MASH? The MASH unit in the war, the Korean War, they're blood and blood's everywhere. War. People are dying, and that's what peacefully put her to sleep. And I know so many other people that actually go to sleep. And being one of them, I put them on too. If I'm on the road, I can't find anything, I'll pop forensic files on, or 24, whatever, not 24, 48. Yeah, where you got to find the killer within that time. You're come on. I don't know what's wrong with us as people, as human beings, that we find. I don't know if we find comfort in it, but we're able to go to sleep with that on our mind. I mean, I don't know what this says about us. But yeah, man. Good luck with that. But you said ex-girlfriend, so just keep her on your good side, though. So you were talking because we're gonna run out of time here anyways. You're gonna get 5 minutes, but I don't know what's going on there. But why Raymond figures out his technical difficulties. You mentioned Nickelodeon. What were you watching about? Because Raymond mentioned Nickelodeon too. My friend used to work for Nickelodeon.
It's called Quiet on Set. It's a documentary, and these are all shows that I would watch growing up, like Drake and Josh, and the Amanda Show. I watch all these.
iCarly or whatever. I've been on that set so many times.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
at one time, my whole wardrobe was fueled by Nickelodeon.
That's crazy.
When I lived in LA, because they'd have the prop. My
was that during Dan Schneider's era? Because that was the biggest thing that they were talking about. There was abuse and.
No, I don't know. My friend, I call him Swayze. I won't say his name, but he actually had his own show for a while. But Paramount took over Nickelodeon now, so
And then
he
they
just
moved over
got
to Nickelodeon.
so he just got let go, like, and they're clearing out all the
Sunset.
props. But when my boy Swayze was there, he'd always call up. He owned one of the prop houses. Plus, he ran. He was high up in Nickelodeon. He'd be like, "Hey, come check out this stuff," because they had like on one of the iCarly, one of the shows, they had a big dude that was like a DJ or he did something. So, but they would always wear these clothes. So I would go there and like. I'll go, I take a Versace shirt. They still have tags on it. They tucked them in. I'd go in there and leave with like full wardrobes out of Nickelodeon sponsors, you know?
Yeah,
like,
no, they're...
And, but yeah, I didn't know what was going on. Like, 'cause, like, no, like Paramount or whatever, they like let all these people go. Things are changing. My boy Joey works for Nickelodeon still. He's still there. Have you met Joey yet? TMD. Yeah, he's over there, but he's out of a job too soon in like another month when they clear the last place out because he works in the warehouses and moves all the props and because like I guess Paramount's taking everything over. They'll still say Nickelodeon, but it's really like Paramount or somebody. Yeah. So a lot of stuff's going on over there. So they had some shady stuff going on.
Yeah, like a whole.
Like
that'll
what?
have to be next.
Like what was going on there? Give me a taste. What was going on? I
Just,
haven't seen this or even heard it. Touching the Nickelodeon's all kids.
They were like sexually abusing like some of the actors. Yeah, it's like I'm not done with the. I have like. It's 4 episodes so far. I'm watching the last one today.
Do you think this is why they sold or something? Or?
No clue. But they're firing a lot of people. That's for sure.
Should I be talking to my friend going, why'd you get let go? Really? Should I call him up and say, hey, why'd you really get low?
No, it was like...
No, because he's not.
Apparently
He's a
it's
good
a
guy.
producer, Dan Schneider.
If he was to do that, if this guy was to do that, it would blow my mind because he would be the last guy I ever thought to ever do anything. Like, then I would think I had no faith in the world at all because it would just destroy how I think of the world. So let's not go there.
Another fan comment. Hey, Gangrel, it would be interesting to hear you talk about what it was like wrestling Taka Michinoku or the Big Boss Man. Also, another topic to hear your take on would be the worst wrestling botches that you've ever seen or experienced. Just saying. Keep fanging and banging, brother. You the man.
Keep fanging and banging. I don't have time to go over all that stuff, but wrestling the Big Boss Man, it was tremendous. I think he's one of the best big guys there was. You can watch a clip of me and like watch getting beat up by the Big Boss Man and handcuffed, and then 10 years later I'm wrestling the Big Boss Man as Gangrel. You know, so I had a crazy journey with him. And he was just a sweetheart of a man, and he was really, really good. I don't care what anybody has to say or anything. Taka, he's still wrestling. I mean, Taka's had his ups and downs. I've heard some stories with whatever's going on over there in Japan, but he's still doing his thing. Taka, well, a quick story because we got to go. Actually, I know you got to go. So I wasn't even on the show. I was in Anaheim, California. Brian Christopher missed his flight, and I came in. I was down in Tijuana. So I came back. So I was Tijuana'd up. I don't even tell you what was going on. I think I've said it on here before, but I shouldn't have been wrestling or anything like that. But they go, oh, do you got your gear, whatnot? I just happened to roll up to the building because Luna was on the show. And I was just catching up to her because I've been down in Tijuana partying and having a good time. And I go, oh, yeah. So I'm literally run to the car. And then I was in good shape. I was like 228, and I just wore trunks and boots. So it wasn't all this crap I wear now. And I was signing a waivers, literally going in the ring, and it was to work Taka. And Taka was like, oh, Davidson, Black Hearts. You know, he was super nice. He knew me from the Japan, the Black Hearts. He was a little kid when he watched the Black Hearts. You know, now he's in WWF. And, but he's the first guy to take the Impaler and my DDT I do in there. Because I was wrestling, I go out there, and the fans are like, this is Anaheim. It's a sold-out house show. Vince McMahon's there, and the fans are like, who is this jabroni? It's supposed to be Brian Christopher, you know what I mean? For a light heavyweight title match or whatever. Taka just won the belt. And, I go out there. But Taka knew me from Japan, so he trusted me. And I said, I'm going to go for a suplex, but not give it to you, but turn it into a DDT. Oh, okay. And he did it, and then I did it in the match, and I guess apparently Vince McMahon was walking by, and the whole place went, wow, the building popped on that move. And he went there and said, who's in the ring? And they go, oh, David. And he goes, I'll send him to the camp. And then that's how I ended on my journey of actually getting signed in WWE before I went to All Japan. I went to the camp, and then I went to All Japan. They hired me while I was on an All Japan tour. But yeah, so Taka did that, and he took that move, and he's kind enough to take that move. And how I returned him with a favor down the road, I knocked him out in the ring like, by accident. I think he's so short, and I would throw a tight kick to the back, but he either was coming down the ropes, or I just really, underestimated his height. I kicked him right in the back of the head. You see him go down the rope like bloop, bloop, bloop. And then you see us, there's a match. If you look at it, you'll see when I kick him in the back of the head, I go over there because he's like, and the next thing you know, he just like really starts fighting. And I'm like laughing. What are you doing? Like, because I didn't realize I knocked him out. I just thought, oh shit. And then we finished the match like right there, but no hard feelings. But he's a great talent, and I had great matches with him. It was a fun time. So,
jeez.
It's not all ballet, It's not. It's not all
Violent
ballet.
ballet.
It's a violent ballet. But I guess that's episode 93. You
93.
said 93 at 93 of Fangin' Bangin'. Thank you, Nikki, for coming on. I know you had a
Yes.
busy day. We really squeezed this one in, and sorry to everyone that were all over the place, like and that I still haven't watched any wrestling. And I tried. I did see the Seth Rollins Drew McIntyre segment. I'm glad that they're doing something with Drew because he's a tremendous talent, but And I like Seth Rollins. I mean, I know there's a lot of whatevers about Seth Rollins in the wrestling world, but I think he's entertaining. And so I'm looking forward to actually seeing that match. Hopefully I get to see some of WrestleMania this year before I take off to Australia, because I'll do Philly the day before Icons that Friday. I'll sign all day, wrestle that night, and then I jet home on a flight Saturday. I'll do that walk. And you're more welcome to come out to the walk on Hollywood Beach on that Sunday for epilepsy awareness. And then I fly to Australia on that Monday. But yeah, that's my woes. That's my business. And this is Fangin' Bangin' with Gangrel. Biggie Blackheart, Raymond over there. Want some?
Get some.
Bad enough.
Take some.